what's one thing that stayed with you, like you memorize it and you know you'll never forget? Share away in the chat. Yes, so wherever you remember from yesterday, please share so that our friends here can also understand. Yes, activating the glutes. I was surprised at how much impact the pelvic floor has on the rest of the body. Yes, yes, indeed. It's such a, it affects our activities, our daily life, our quality of life. This workshop actually was inspired and created by one of my clients who is so fed up. Her story, she's so fed up of like driving from A to B and having to plan her route. So there is a toilet, there is a gas station, there is a McDonald's, so she can stop and go to the bathroom just in case, because she's not able to use clearly her front muscles. So this is why, and she had no idea what pelvic floor is. So she inspired me to realize that it might be more of her out there. It's not just maybe her. There must be so many of you who are unaware of what is going on in your pelvic floor. So without further ado, I'm gonna go through our day 2 agenda. So welcome back, everybody. Today we'll dive into how our alignment and posture impact the health of our pelvic floor muscles. Our posture plays a significant role either supporting or stressing the pelvic floor muscles. It's crucial to be aware of it. And I chose this way today. I chose the ABCs so that you can, guys, remember this 4-day workshop forever. If you can remember anything, is the ABCs. The alignment, the breathing, and the control we can have down there. So today we're going to do the alignment, tomorrow is the breathing, and on the last day is going to be control. Right. As a reminder, I am a certified Pilates instructor and wellness coach, but not a doctor. This information is for educational purpose only. If you're dealing with a medical condition, please consult with a healthcare professional. This, I have to say it because it's true. Right, the importance of alignment for pelvic health. Right now in the chat, how would you describe your posture while you're sitting? Some of you may be standing, I can't see, but what does your posture feel like? You feel like you're slouching, you are, slouching over your desk. How about leaning back too much on your lower back? So I want to explain a little bit these differences, and I'm going to go straight into our lovely slides to inspire you with some lovely visuals. Let's get on it with our gorgeous little canvas. Here we go. Can everyone see? So alignment and postural awareness. Today, I'm going to make you start thinking how you are sitting, how you're holding yourself standing, and even when you watch TV at the end of the day on the couch, like this lovely lady here, she's staring at us. You might find me sitting like that as well many times because I like my legs all straight, but look at the pressure going on out there in the pelvis and how much the ribs are collapsing and the neck and head is not aligned. Check out this. This is a teenager mostly position. As a bored person on Zoom, I hope it's not going to be you. And a very stressed working person here at the office. That used to be me as well. Your neck kind of disappears and dips in between your shoulders. And you think, what is that going to do? Anything with my pelvis? Okay, what, why? Okay, so I want you to visualize a little bit. Maybe that building helps. Imagine your body as a building, and your pelvic floor is basically the foundation. If your body is misaligned, the foundation gets weaker, causing stress on the building and, of course, your pelvic floor muscles. So here I have some examples how we're carrying our shopping and where the pelvis is feeling pressure on these muscles, moving houses, holding babies, and so on. Back into our alignment and posture. Okay, so this spine, it is not flexible as I would like it to be, so I can explain examples of slouching and all that, but watch where it should be. The head should be aligned exactly above the hips when we're standing and almost when we're sitting. So I want you to gently, as you're seated, moving back and front and lifting your ribs higher, dropping and relaxing your shoulders down, and imagine your structures, your three structures, head, ribs, and hips, aligned on top of each other. To feel the difference in your posture when you actually really align these three big structures, head, ribs, and hips. It's already, I'm sure your pelvic floor muscles already feeling some relief, right? So let's go back. Feels like a workout to sit straight, Sarah. I believe you. It's a whole new world. I believe you. That's why we're here today, to change these bad habits and help you guys do better. The foundation of the whole body you're building is sitting here on your pelvic floor. The way we stand, the way we sit, the way we lift or carry can put pressure on the pelvic floor muscles. And poor posture, especially slouching, can lead to a weakened pelvic muscles and issues, even like incontinence. And I'm going to explain right away why. Okay, so your bladder usually sits exactly above your pubic bone. It's not in the middle, it's exactly there. And according to your posture, so if you are always tucked in, you almost have a flat back, almost no glutes. This is sometimes very common, where the bladder might be misaligned, and then it could create extra pressure on the organs and the pelvic floor, and then having incontinence. The same applies if you have a bit of lordosis. So the pubic bone is lower, it's an anterior tilt. So we're going to go through that ourselves today. Don't worry about it. And you're feeling like your belly is hanging a lot more at the front, and that also can create issues with incontinence. And pain, back pain as well. We're going to go through ideal ways of being aware of standing, like everyday life activities when we are cooking, doing our dishes over the sink. Look at that. It's definitely a workout, right? Sitting so straight up. And then how to lift heavy objects without using our back and using our legs. Legs, guys, they're there to support the pelvic floor as well. And then things like carrying our shopping, and then how we sit when we're driving. If you spend a lot of time driving around, this as well, you need to start being aware of how you do all these everyday activities and how this can affect your postural alignment and your pelvic floor. So good posture helps us keep everything in balance. When your pelvis is in the right position, your pelvic floor muscles don't have to work overtime to support you. Shall we read that again? Good posture helps keep everything in balance. When your pelvis is in the right position, your pelvic floor muscles, the little hammock, trampoline in between, don't have to work overtime to support you. And your organs, right? We could have organ prolapse. We could have so many dysfunctions just because of a daily, everyday posture, bad posture. And to be honest, everybody struggles with that, guys. Everybody's struggling with posture, okay? This is a modern world we're living. Naturally, our posture is affected by our lives today. Where are you usually feeling pressure, tension, or pain in your everyday life? Here, it's safe, you guys. It's a safe environment. We're here to support each other. I'm here to listen and give you guidance. So let me hear in the chat. Arch of my back, Sarah. Yes. Okay, lower back and left hip leg, pelvis, and neck. Guys, this is so common. Interesting. Lower back, right hip, right shoulder. Yes. So these all things also are affected by the quality of your sleep, because let's admit it, we do spend 7 hours, if we're lucky, 8 or 9 sleeping. So how you sleep as well, which side you prefer, also affects these tight areas and tension and stress. Most common so far is lower back. Yes, it's good. We're going to definitely touch on that with our exercises today. The key terms here for alignment is going to be the spine, the pelvis, the legs, head, ribs, hips, and our feet. We're going to be using a lot is neutral spine, pelvic tilt, and rib cage position. Just ribs. I'm just going to call it ribs. People are actually born with conditions as kyphosis, lordosis, scoliosis. Even these spine conditions affect our pelvic floor muscles. It doesn't matter if it is your lifestyle, it could be just the way your spine also is made to be positioned. So, misalignments can cause pelvic floor dysfunction, like we already talked, leakage, discomfort, and prolapse. So let's go into different positions of the pelvis. So if I was on the sofa, if I was just watching TV and I'm laying back and I'm tilting my pelvis in a way that the tailbone is pointing towards the TV. If you are this kind of slouching, lower back, tilted pelvis position, you're going to feel pressure on your pelvic floor. How? Let's go through it visually. So these are your ribs. You're breathing and you're pressing as you're breathing into your pelvic floor muscles, and in between your ribs also is all these organs. We have our stomach, we have our giant gut digestion, we have all the bowel, we have our women, we have our uterus, our womb, we have the bladder, we have so many things that are squashed between the ribs and the hips. So this putting extra pressure in a trampoline, guys. And so this is making these muscles weaker and weaker. So neutral pelvis and spine. I'm going to explain what it is. Okay, so what are we going to do, which is the easiest part for this section, is coming into a 4-point kneeling. So everybody come into your 4. And I want you to even remove your microphone if you need to tell me how you're feeling on the spot. So I'm going to remove my socks. We're going to come into our 4-point kneeling. So we're going to establish the neutral spine and the pelvis tilts. So yes, let me just squeeze that under there so you can see better. So on our 4, here we go. We have our hands exactly below our shoulders, knees below the hips, and our head is the highest point, you guys. It's not here, it's not hanging, the highest point. So imagine on your back, you have a tray full of tea. You have your teapot, your set, everything there. So without losing this alignment, this is the perfect alignment for the hands and knees and head. We're going to gently drop our belly and then suck in. I wouldn't say suck in, tilt the pelvis. It's not about the feeling of sucking, it's more about the pelvis tilting, opening back, and then moving forward, tailbone pointing to your face. So this is the extreme pelvis tilts. So tailbone high to the ceiling and then tailbone down towards the knees. So that's all that's happening. The spine is following the pelvic movement. That's right, guys. Yeah. And I want you to find the middle part. So you're not tilting tailbone to the knees and you're not extremely going down with your belly, tailbone up to the sky. The middle part is called the neutral spine. So let your pelvis sit where it naturally sits. So if you're feeling that your belly is hanging a little bit too much in your neutral spine, this is the problem for your lower back. So if this is your neutral spine, you might want to have a gentle tilt. So you're bringing your tailbone again closer towards the knees than the ceiling. And then practice this movement and stretch your lower back by keeping that gentle pelvis tilt and moving gently towards your heels. I think that everybody will benefit from this stretch right now, since everybody has lower back tension. So let's go for it. It's called the kitten, okay? It's not the full cat. The head is not activated. The head is still the highest point. Your shoulders are still high. It's all about the pelvis and lower back. So tilt the pelvis inward, tailbone towards your face, and lean back towards these heels. Keep that belly button deep inside and feel that gentle little stretch in your lower back and lumbar spine. Come back and come back to your neutral spine. Okay, let's start moving this hip. So I want you to bring your right hip to the right and then back to the left and just gently moving the pelvis left and right. Okay, so you're feeling a little bit of stretch in each external thigh. So side, booty, and thigh. Okay, now we're going to combine. So we do a big circle here, everything together. So drop your belly, go to the left hip, tuck in, go to the right hip, and tuck. So I'm going to call this tuck and untuck in circles. So we're going to do 3 of them. Keep the head high. Keep the neck free. Don't look forward. Don't look to the side. I know you need to see me, but not for too long. Keep that perfect posture. And then circle the other side. 1 and 2. Breathing is as you desire right now. We're not going to focus on the breathing because there's a lot of information. Right, and now I'm going to open the knees a little wider. Drop these elbows, rest your wrists, and we're going to move back and front again, all the way down to the heels and all the way towards these elbows. Right, keep that gentle pelvis tilt. So tuck in, but ever so gentle. Keep the pelvis neutral. Okay, last one all the way back. And coming back up into a 4. Gently coming to your knees, to your heels, and stretch a little bit the front of the chest. Right, so we found the neutral spine with the pelvis tilts, and I want some feedback. I want to know where you felt the most pressure. Was it in the upper back, in the abdomen, or in the lower back? Which felt like a kind of relief? Let me know in the chat, and then we're going to move into our next test, the wall test. Everybody needs to look around for a wall, guys. Windows will do, mirrors will do, closet, doesn't matter. So we're going to do the wall test in a minute. Lower back. Anita says lower back. So that means you need to always focus on that pelvis tilt where you're bringing the belly button inwards and the tailbone towards your face when you're on your floor. That's what you need to focus on. Did you ask where did we feel good or where? I prefer, the first part was like, where did you feel better? And if you had some unpleasant or uncomfortable moments and where it was, any tightness or tension. For this, basically we discovered where is our neutral pelvis. I was guiding you through this pelvis tilt to find the neutral position in between. On our 4 is quite easier to find it on our 4. So did that, then we moved back and forward, left and right, and we found the middle neutral position. When your lower back is not overly arched or flat. When I was in neutral, it felt better, but I didn't feel like I had stamina to hold it. Okay, got it. Right, interesting. So the hips were not working in a harmony for this. Okay, good. So that shows a little bit of abdominal weakness, but it could be also a bad night of sleep, you guys. So left hip felt locked. Great. That's why I wanted you to move left, right, and then circle around with attacking and releasing. Yes. So let's everybody practice a little bit like you're doing a little belly dance here. So one bum cheek at a time, and then releasing, letting the belly be, and then going back. Yes. So the ribs are staying over the hips at all times, and we're moving in circle motion left to right, 3, and we're going to change it. 3. Ooh, see, this one is a little tight, it's less smooth. So you can figure out which hip needs more of that circle motion. Are you sitting on your heels? Yes, I'm sitting on my heels. I wouldn't recommend it because, your ankles start to get tinkles. Not too long there. But ideally, you can sit directly, sitting bones on the mat, and do the same thing as well. Okay, yes, large ball, absolutely. But I didn't want to restrict you into equipment today. I will talk about this extra accessories on Friday that you will be using, that we will be using in our 6 weeks program. Okay, now I want you to find a wall. Can you find a wall near you? When I do this, the chair while seated, I feel more tension in my lower back. Yes, I understand, Cindy. Yeah, you're right. It's much better into a ball, 100%. That's why I have made a whole class called Cozy Pilates, which is on the ball. Let's get into a wall. So the feet should be, let's say, 1 foot away from the wall, and then bring the feet parallel, hip width apart. Pressing gently into your heels and toes. Your pelvis is pressing on the wall, your ribs, and the back of your head. Okay, so naturally, you're going to have a gap between your lower back and the wall. This is, it depends how big is the gap. So if you can put your whole hand through like me, it is quite a big gap. That's why you probably have lower back tension. But if you can just barely put your fingers through, this is healthy, neutral spine. If you're completely flat and nothing can get through, that's also an issue, postural issue. So ideally, you want to have your neutral spine and pelvis with maybe a fingers that's able to go through. But we're going to do a release again, just like we did on our 4 with the wall, using the wall. So head is on the wall, ribs as well, hips as well. If you want, actually, let's move a little more back, so we are a little taller on that wall. So the chest is lifted, ribs are lifted. Let's tilt the pelvis. So place your hands into your bones here, your hips right here. We're going to inhale with the belly. On the exhale, we're going to tilt and press the lower back on the wall, ribs, head as well. So this is uncomfortable. I know it's gonna create some nice warm feeling in your core. We're waking up our core, our abdominal wall, as well as our pelvic floor muscles. So breathing in here, and on the exhale, come back to your neutral spine. Ideally, guys, release your arms now to the side. You want to have exactly that posture on your everyday standing. Head, ribs, and hips touching the wall, and then you walk away from the wall, and there you go. Everything is aligned on top of each other. You're not slouching, you don't have a flat back, and that the pelvic floor muscles are free from all that pressure. So every time you can, check with your wall as a reference, and let's go back again. So feet hip width apart, parallel, pelvis is touching, ribs and head, arms to the side. We're going to inhale, exhale, pelvis tilt, pressing the lower back into the wall, Breathe with your chest and then exhale, release. So when you want to lift something heavy, guys, this is how you do it. You tilt your pelvis, you engage your core, then you use your legs, you go get this heavy stuff, and you go for it, and you walk away the same way. Head, ribs, hips. So let's practice that again. So on the wall, hip, ribs, head, arms to the side, relax. We're going to inhale with the belly. On the exhale, we tilt the pelvis, press the lower back on the wall. Go down with your legs, use your legs, grab heavy duty shopping bags. Who doesn't want to bring all the groceries home on their own from the car? So as you're tilting and you're keeping your core muscle strong, you're protecting your pelvic floor muscles. And we're going to talk about squatting and how important it is to squat, you guys. Okay, last point for today, and we're almost done. We are 3 minutes over. Squatting. Okay, squatting is very important when we are also at the toilet. There's something called squatty potty. So, you know, when we were in nature, we squat and our digestion and all the bowel movement is relieved with no issues. I highly recommend in your toilet not to be in this position and have a squatty potty where your knees come high. That's it. That's it for your pelvic floor health today. I'm gonna catch on the slides and then you guys are free to go. We did it's a lot of things today with posture. We talk about good posture. We talk about finding your neutral spine position, how to find basically your pelvis position on your floor, how to check your own posture on the wall, and how to stand in neutral alignment with weight evenly distributed between both feet. That was when I was talking about lifting and carrying your shopping bags. All right. And tomorrow we're going to talk about breathing, breathing awareness, how to get stronger with diaphragmatic breathing. Posture and breathing go hand in hand. When you slouch, it can affect your diaphragm and how you breathe, which impacts your pelvic floor. We'll explore that tomorrow and how you can use your breathing to better support your pelvic floor. All right, you guys are free to go. I'm very grateful. Thank you so much for staying the extra 3 minutes. Don't forget to log in tomorrow. I'm going to send you the recording of tonight. Thank you so much for joining today. Feel free to stick around for questions. If there's one thing that you're going to be more mindful with your posture after today's session, what is that thing? And then you're free to go. Think about it. What's that one thing you're going to be mindful about? And anyone can leave or you can stay for questions. No pressure. I will reset my posture on the wall. Yep. Using the wall as a reference to reset my alignment. I'm going to try align my shoulders, ribs, and hips. Yes, Sarah. Good stuff. Keeping my head over my ribs and hips and pelvis. Yes, please. Very important. Amazing. You guys got it. You actually were paying attention. Yes. Resetting posture while standing and also sitting. And then any balls you have at home, big ball, small ball, always change your sitting position. Keep moving. Don't stay static. Drink lots of water so it makes you get up, stand, move, and squatty potty. Look it up. I'm going to have a link on that email with the recording. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Hip rotation on the wall, on the ball. Yes, Cindy. Highly recommend that. Thank you, guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Isabel. Bye, Anita. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, Alexandra. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.